hello, darling, and welcome to the Just Jax Podcast. Hi, I'm Jax, and I help you find the can in your cat. When we challenge our cats, miracles happen, because when I challenge mine of I can't draw, I can't paint, and I can't color, imagine my surprise when I discovered what I can do is create a 21-foot garden mural that was recently featured not once but twice on the front page of our local newspaper. Next up, I challenge the I'm no author, no artist, and no cursive writing specialist, but what I can do is self-publish 3 books for my kick-ass cursive writing curriculum, Crack the Cursive Code. I'm a jack of all trades, but what I master at is helping ordinary people like me to do extraordinary things through laughter, tears, life-changing stories, because metaphors are my jam. Together we can find the can in your can'ts, the do's in your don'ts, and the wills in your won'ts. I'm so excited for you. Let's go. Well, hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the Just Jax Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about wishes granted. And if you're unfamiliar with what a genie is, it is a magical being that grants wishes, and they're believed to be found in a brass type of pot for either oil or tea. And when you rub it, then the genie comes out. And what the main purpose and job for the genie is to grant 3 wishes. And you need to be very, very careful for what you wish for because the wish could be granted. And once the wish is granted, there's no ungranting it. And that could be a problem, especially if you are very vague or misleading in your wishes. I always remember a commercial on TV when they're talking about, I want $1 million, and they got a million deer all over their yard, because that is actually the word buck. Buck is slang for money, but an actual buck is the deer. And so he was just like, oh my gosh, I meant $1 million, but it was given exactly the way it was asked for. And sometimes we get exactly what we ask for. Good, bad, and ugly. But today I'm going to be talking about how some of the wishes I have received this week, as well as a way for you to take a look at your life and really recognize the wishes that you have granted. Because all it takes is one small change, and the life that you thought sucks right now, or you have a lack of appreciation for, you would give anything to go back to the day you had, where it was just your normal shit-filled day. Let's talk about the wishes that we have granted at the moment. And for me, and one of them is that I was able to work from home this week. Last week on my episode, I talked about how I was able to take my human design reading and really understand and put to words how I felt on the inside, and used it to empower the areas of my life that I felt were blossoming and growing, but were never really given permission, or if I knew that they were the parts of myself that I was supposed to work on and exercise those muscles to make them strong and effective. And I found out that that is exactly the area that I was supposed to go. And it has helped me also if I've had any kind of fear or worry or anything where I'm trying to figure things out. I've been able to understand that those areas of my life are ones that I will continuously have those strong negative feelings come through, and I am to ride through the entire experience, good, bad, and ugly, and then come to a decision after the wave is complete. And I've had some waves this week. And we'll go over the top of one and we'll go to the bottom of one, and they both have to deal with being at home. So the first one is that I have worked my first week at home being a remote worker. And this was very interesting for me, for this was a wish granted and one of the opportunities that I felt that I had missed out on. And it came to my realization that when I was a sophomore for my American friends, and I wanted to do grade 10 in Bishop Carroll School in Calgary. And that school was driven by your personality and drive. So if you were a very self-motivated individual and organized, you could basically get your high school done in 2 years instead of 3, and you could dictate what classes you have and how when you do your work, etc. It was a very free-flowing experiment type of situation. And I did everything in my grade 9 class to be almost the top of my class. At that time, we were allowed, if you had a 90% average or more, you were allowed to miss your final exam. So the only final I had to write for was for science, and I got 92 in that. I was all set to go to Bishop Carroll, and then my dad decided to pull the rug under us as a family and move us out to Irricana, which is about 45 miles away. And this was before anything like the internet, and that was like a cut off from society. I had always lived in a city. I either lived in Winnipeg or Calgary, and I was like, I had no idea how to live in a town of 500 people where there was no school, and I was painfully shy and awkward. And my dreams of going to Bishop Carroll vanished. And in some way, shape, or form, I told myself, in some to some degree, that the I to make myself feel better. I have my fingers in air quotes for better. To make myself feel better, that I would have failed at it anyway, just like I did with my university. I failed out of my first year of university because it just overwhelmed me, and I had a hard time doing my schoolwork. It was a very strange experience for me. So I automatically thought, well, you know what, that experience with Bishop Carroll, maybe that was a bullet that I dodged, that I'm just a failure at organizing myself and making sure I do things and such. And I carried this weight for a long time. And then the internet came and the opportunity to work from home. And that was a little niggle in the back of my mind. Now, granted, this is my first week working from home. So I realized that this could still be a honeymoon phase. But at the same time, I have declared what I want, and what I want is to be able to work 6 weeks here in the United States and go for 2 weeks there in Canada. And I want to be able to have 2 weeks around each kid's birthday and maybe Mother's Day and my birthday, as well as holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that makes it 10 weeks up there. And what's beautiful about that is that I still can have my paid vacation days to do something else other than go back to see my family, because it's very difficult to be able to juggle both with the current job that I have. But being able to be remote also, when I do a kick-ass job, this means I can go anywhere that I want in the United States to work because I'm being remote, and that's all that matters. So I've opened up my life to be able to travel if I want to and get my work done, etc., and have a great time doing that. And but my first week at home, it was fascinating on how much work I actually get done without the distractions. I was told by my boss that the distractions were part of the problem with my being able to be accurate with my work. And there is a lot of truth to that, because I can be slightly distracted here, but at the same time, it's very different because it's a single distraction that is controllable by me mostly, other than my cats doing strange things or stuff like that. But this has been the best week ever. Like I didn't experiment, and I wore my pajamas all week. I changed my underwear, because my pajamas honestly are a normal long sleeve cotton t-shirt, a hoodie that I would wear out, and then I have flannel or fleece pants that I refrain from wearing out in public. But if I had to go to the door, if I had to go outside into my yard or something like that, I am perfectly dressed. And this is what I would consider, these are my pajamas that I wear, my house clothes, I guess you would call it. And so I was able to stay in my house clothes all week. I only had to leave on Friday, and that was when I got to do another wish that was granted. I brought a whole idea to my mind. I wanted to do something fun for Halloween, because to me, the what the human design told me is that my life comes to me as if I am living my best life and doing what lit me up. And that was the best. Seeing people's reactions, tossing them some Canadian candy because they don't, they rarely get it down here. And I'd love to be able to experience that for them and have them fun with that. And I just went to all of my clinics and a lot of my old peeps and just had a really great time bringing joy for everyone. It was a joy for me and it was a joy for them. I was really surprised and excited about how I am learning how to apply face paint. I am still in the very, very beginning stages of learning how to do that. But I had a miracle that I was a wish granted because another one of the I'm the type of person statements that looking at is I'm the type of person who has everything she needs because I was having trouble getting the pink because I forgot to tell you what I was. I decided to be a pinata and I was pink, green, blue, and purple and neon yellow kind of green. That was my costume, and it actually was a full costume. You could see it looked like it was made out of like tablecloths or post-it notes because it had the lovely fringe all the way, the wide fringe. But it was a full body suit, and I painted my face in accordance with my hood, so it looked like my face disappeared into the fringe. There is much room for improvement in regards to the type of paint that I want to buy. I tried this one brand and it was a bit too splotchy for me. Another thing that I did learn though is I have some white paint and I got the white paint and I took some very bright magenta pink eyeshadow and I mixed it into the white paint and it gave me a wonderful color of pink. I wish that I would have put more of the actual eyeshadow in because it dried down to a pale pink, almost to the point it made it look like my face disappeared. And the purple that they had on there was far from dark enough. So I have in my Amazon cart, I have a bright pink body paint, as a bright pink and a dark purple face paint. And I also have to figure out how I can like draw so it makes it look like I have still the fringe on my face. I've got to figure out how to do that. That would be kind of cool. So I actually blend into the entire thing. And it was fun. And then I then went shopping yesterday because it's the day after Halloween and things are on sale. And I picked up a bunch of different things for costumes because I realized that this is something that really I enjoy. And it was funny because my son FaceTimed with me, my younger son. He's like, Mom, your costume looks fantastic. And he goes, I really have a hard time remembering you doing that when we were kids. And it, there was a lot less joy for me in regards to costumes and Halloween. And there was just so much stress and unhappiness for me that there was nothing left for me to give to be able to do that. It was my priority was them. I asked them what they wanted to do, but I showed no interest in doing the costumes. I just was tired and worn out. Just I had nothing. But now, since I've really started to take a turn that since I had my birthday in September, to really take an inventory of things that light me up and that are fun for me. And this is part of them. And I'm realizing that I really enjoyed it. So I went and bought a witch costume and I was able to get a couple other different things. And I'm really excited about what my costumes will be like for next year. I think I might be a green fairy of some sort. I bought a poison ivy uh, outfit, but this skirt's a little short for me, and that is the wrong image for me to have this type of va 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 voom poison ivy. And I bought a black wig that had green in it, so that would be actually perfect. And I have a crown with some ivy and such. And so maybe some green crystals or something. I think that would be cool too. So we'll see what kind of fun things I can create. But I really loved being green in the face paint and stuff. I really identified with the green color on my face. It's very fascinating on how that really feels good on me and how my personality is when I am green. And in this case, it is easy being green, Kermit, my friend. And it was great too because I was able to have a flexible schedule so I could work around my taking Halloween off where I had enough time to do my costume. I had enough time to go and take care of my people and create and let them know that they are loved and appreciated. And it's great because then if I have things that I need from them, they love and appreciate me too. It's a really great place to be. And it's another wish granted for, I guess it'd be 12 years ago now. I remember working and I am almost making double to what I was making there. And that was a wish for me. And sometimes when I sit there and look at my bills or how fast my bank account empties, I need to remind myself that just 12 years ago, this was an unattainable wish on a dream board to have the income that I have right now, to have a house that I have right now. That was also an unwritten wish. I had a really hard time believing that I could have a house because my worth was so little, and the pictures that I had, that why have something nice cuz someone's just going to take it from you. And it was very difficult for me to dream, and I'm realizing now at the age of 59 that I'm allowing myself to dream now. I just really want to be able to have some fun at this time of my life. I never allowed myself to have very much fun, and it's now time to do that. The second wish that got granted is I had a full blown meltdown yesterday. I sat in this chair and just bawled my eyes out because I felt like an absolute failure. I really, really want to be able to, even though I make twice the income that I did 12 years ago, I am still in a financial mess at times. And I really want to create a better relationship with money. And it's been very fascinating because there's a song that I'm listening to lately. I have anything to do with abundance, but I want to be very clear on if I want a wish to be granted with abundance. I am very good at being creative with abundance, but sometimes it's abundance of things that I no longer need or want or can use. So I could have abundance of facial whiskers. I have an abundance of weight on my body. I have an abundance of dry skin on my face. I have an abundance of things I've bought out of fear. I have an abundance of stuff that I bought for my business with my cursive writing books that I have no use for now. I have an abundance of things that no longer serve me. So I need to be a little bit more clear on my wish for abundance because I'm wishing for more prosperity, because prosperity has more a give and a take where you use your resources and you gain from that usage. It I feel prosperous is more because that sounds like a more of an end result of a job well done type of, like if you did some type of work but you get a greater reward, to me is prosperity. So I have been very careful with my affirmations to, if I'm asking for abundance, I want to be very specific on what I would want abundance of. Because if you keep asking for an abundance of time and then all of a sudden you get sick or you get fired, well, you did get your abundance of time in a way that like that gentleman that asked for $1 million, because your wishes are will only go in alignment with what you believe can be true. If you never believe that you can win $1 million, you can never see yourself with any more money that you have now. That's where for me I'm realizing that I heard this line in this song that money wants my company, and I want, you know what, I thought about that. When I have gotten money, what kind of response energetically or vibrationally I can put on a fake show for someone else, and maybe you can too. But like if I got $3,000 dropped in, would I be super excited or I'd be what the fucking? Like, oh my God, what does that mean? Oh, I have no idea what to do now. Oh, now I have no idea what to spend it on. Or, oh, should I save it? Or, oh my God. And all of this mindset vibration, it just gets lower and lower and lower and lower. So if you were a gift giving machine that you wanted to give someone something that made them feel good, looking from the outside looking in, I believe that money would have a hard time giving me more than I have right now, unless it's only I only receive it under crisis conditions. And that is when I seem to be more receptive to the money giving it to me because I can see that there's a direct result for it. But if I was to be showered with money, why would they want to shower? Why would that gift giving machine want to, or genie want to give me more money when it sees that I look miserable when I get it? Because I have been given money and I have gotten great amounts of money just given to me randomly. But I need to be able to have like money loves my company. Really? But the biggest thing that I have found that I need to work on is the belief that I am going to be okay with it. Because a lot of the beliefs I've had is that money changes people and it makes them horrible. It makes them mean, selfish, all those things. Where I just want to be fun. I want to have some fun. I want to have people have fun with me and that we just have a lot of fun together and build things together and have fun building things together, creating things together. I think that would be a lot of fun. And then you help other people create things in their life to bring more fun in their life. Because this whole purpose of this podcast is to lighten things up in your mind mentally so that you have more room to be yourself, to live authentically, and have fun. Because to me, I realize now that I've been a real bad taskmaster, and I can tell you that I have been all prickles and stings when it came to money, because there was no way I could trust that it was there for my greater good or to help me or anything like that. It's a necessity. It's something I have to work hard for. It never comes when I want it to come, and or when as soon as it comes in, there's no way I can trust it or believe in it or think that it's going to protect me in any way. And so I've really been thinking about, if money wanted to love my company, what kind of company would I be? Would I be something where we are creative together? Would I be something that it feels good wanting to be around me? Think of someone that you really want to enjoy being around and how they feel when you're around. If money loved my company, huh? Sorry, I've really sucked in regards to my company. It's been all selfishness and fear and drama. It's been all drama. And I've really thought about now how, if I money came to me, how I would feel instead of the energy around it that I needed, I wanted. It asks, it's a taskmaster, it's a slave, it's a servant. And I wonder if that would be the difference, that you could feel good around it to undo my scarcity living, and that if money loves my company and we can have fun, then we're that evil, nasty, horrible persona that comes with money. Maybe I could be someone different. And if I have the money loves my company mantra and mindset, that we can do really good things with it, maybe that would be the key. And because I need some help. And I feel that these things that I need help with take money. And I am tired of feeling like I have to beg and sacrifice and trade more time for money. I would really like to have money come from another source than just time exchange. I've always sacrificed myself. If I could do it myself for cheaper, then I would do that. And there is no harm in that. And I love the feeling of a good deal. And I love the feeling of doing something where you're conserving money that feels good. It just feels really good to know that you have this extra, that you've done something that allows you to have extra. But sacrificing myself is another thing. And I talk about, like, the actual name of my podcast, Finding the Can in Your Can't, came from a 21-foot garden mural. It's two pieces, one's 15 feet and one is 6 feet, and I painted that over three summers. It's a glorified paint by numbers, so that means that any one of you that are listening could do the exact same thing I did. I just took a transparency, a projector, and then put that on the wall, and then painted all the parts in like a paint by number, and then went around it with the black. I am simplifying it. It was a tedious, tenacious task to do, but I did it, and it was featured twice on the front page of our local newspaper. And for my demographic, you know exactly how important that was. That was what it meant to go viral in our day. And so that Finding the Can in My Can't was all about that. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is that the 6 foot piece originally had come away from the edge, split from the foundation of the stairs, and the stairs are no longer safe to walk on. And the 6 foot wall, well, it has now pushed the wall over and it has fallen on its face and it's sitting face down. The artwork is now covered because the wall is now face down and it is encroaching the city sidewalk about 2 inches, which means that if something happens that someone hits it, I am liable for that because I'm impeding the sidewalk. And I had a panic attack yesterday of I wish I just had the money to fix the wall. I put a sign out there because I had no idea what to do or what the wall was going to be like and what was going to happen with the wall when and if it fell over, if it was going to crumble. And there was a whole bunch of unanswered questions. We had professionals come out. My husband had two, I had two, and we had 4 people come out, and each one of them either wanted to drill a hole through the hummingbird. So the hummingbird means a lot. And the whole purpose and goal was to hire them to save the artwork. Well, all 4 of them came from a range of $3,000 to $6,500 to try and anchor that wall. Well, my wish granted came when the wall fell over in a complete piece and it's just nestled there on the sidewalk. I wanted to be able to do the wall for $1,000. That's my mental budget. Because the wall fell over and it fell over in a complete piece, we now know that the piece can be moved in one solid piece like that. And so with that, we are now going to take that piece and move it and just frame it inside some cinder blocks so that the wall recedes a good width of a cinder block so that it can just be placed there, that big piece of stone, as a piece of art, and then continue with the cinder blocks. And then if I want to, I can continue on and paint something else there. Maybe, who knows, I'll do the cover of my book or my characters or something like that, something different. May I, because my artist passed away 2 years ago, but now that opens it up. And here, the entire time I was having the panic attack, I was able to ride the wave exactly like my human design chart said. And at the end of it, realize I know exactly how to fix it. And I believe I can do it for $1,000 because we're just going to fill it in and make it a bed. And that's the cheapest way to do it because there will be no stairs there anymore. And it's a complete wish granted. So having the wall fall over actually saved me and saved it and now gave me the exact wish that I needed because I can now attack it with vigor and get the person that I want to do it to come out and fix it. But what I really want to share with you today in regards to wishes granted is I want you to see the wishes that you have right now in your life. If you can get up and go to the bathroom, be thankful. If you can pull something out of the cupboard, a glass out of the cupboard, be thankful. If you can brush your hair, be thankful. If you can take a shower, be thankful. If you can get into your car, be thankful. If your car starts, be thankful. If you have water in your pipes, be thankful. And it's funny because when people ask to look for affirmations, we never think about affirmations as in something to do the ordinary. But I'm telling you, your wishes are granted right now on the support that you have on the daily. If you're able to buy food for yourself, be thankful. I had the strangest experience when I realized the degree of normal and what I need to do to have more of a grateful attitude because I've always heard these grateful. I must shut up with being grateful. Just fuck right off. It's just enough about this being. How do you be grateful about stuff? But it takes work because our minds are programmed to think negatively. And I have had it proven to myself because I have almost broke ChatGPT trying to get it to refrain from using negative language. It's so programmed into our brain that it's almost impossible to take it out. I struggle with it and fight with it every day. There is no such thing as when I work with ChatGPT that it just does whatever it does because I have to strong arm it to take it out of the negative. So, in order to be grateful, it's easier to be grateful for simple things. During COVID, Because I worked in a medical facility, we were one of the last places to lift the daily ban of wearing masks. And I had to wear masks for a long time past the public who and the patients that came into the building. And I remember the day that I took off my mask. And it had been what, 3 years since I had to wear it every day? I took off my mask, and there were times that I had to check myself when I first went down the hallway, for I felt I was naked and I was missing something that I had to do for 3 years. I had to untrain myself to check my mask coming out of the back hallway. I was able to I also had to realize that people could now see my face. And if you get one of the things that most people may never know, and they will now, is that I have a plate. I've had more dental work than I've had medical history. So I am very medically boring, but I've made up for it in dentistry. And I've had a lot of work done on my teeth. And with that, I've had a lot of extractions done too. So I have a partial plate. And I had the freedom of never had to wearing my plate because I had the mask on all the time, and I never had to worry about bad breath or anything like that. So there were some really great perks that I had to unlearn to go back to my natural self. I sometimes have like those little snot balls in your, like bears in the cave, I call it. And I never had to worry about that either because those were all covered, or the whiskers on my chin or my mustache. And I can also stick my tongue out at people if I wanted to. Did I ever do that? No, but I had the freedom to express myself in different ways. And I had to relearn how to curb those things and tweak those things. But it was such a big relief in my mind on how my life changed just with taking my mask off. And it was how the next day, that simple thing brought such freedom. But what really blew my mind, and what I would, if one thing you take away from this podcast today, is that what changed to bring that sense of freedom and that skip in my step. It was a simple thing of taking a piece of fabric off my face. Did my life change in any way? Did my home change, my diet change, my body change, my looks change, my job change, my income change, my family change, the weather, my money situation, my anything like that? Nothing changed except for a small piece of fabric on my face that I was celebrating, going back to the life that on the daily I bitched about and missed the opportunity of expressing that freedom in that small way. That's all that changed. There was a lightness that came after that that was undescribable. And then it was so easy to transition back to the complaining about this and, oh, it's that, and the constant finding what's wrong with everything. And this is where it might be a good time to find out what's right with everything, what's actually working for you right now, and just take a moment to be thankful. Being able to blink, and that my nose is dry and that my lips are moist, that I can laugh and breathe and sit and talk and think and just be all the things that I am at this moment. I can be, because in a split second, life can change. There was a little rut that the grass was made it very hard to see. And I went and walked on there and twisted my ankle really bad and heard a pop. And my life has still been slightly affected by that 1 minute change of the before and after, and the pain and the rehab. And I had to wear a boot driving to Canada to visit my family because it happened shortly before I did that. And I would have done anything to be able to go to the day before or minutes before where that never happened, and celebrate the moment of where it was, because there are so many times we live in the past and wish we were back there. But did we appreciate what we had at the time, or did we just bitch about it and overlook it and focus on the negative? A metaphor that came to my mind about that was this woman that went to this wedding, and And she danced her night off, danced the night away. The music was great, the bar was great, the food was great, except the beans were salty, and that's all she could focus on. So, how many salty beans do you have in your life where you're missing out on the things? There could be a person in your life you're showing less gratitude for. What, how about yourself? When's the last time you actually focused on something that's good today for you? And that would be my takeaway for you today, is for you to look at the things today that you would do anything to keep to tomorrow. The house that you have, because I have a girlfriend on my Facebook, her house burnt down. And there could be all these scary things that can happen, but the combat for that is gratitude for what you have. And realize that you can be thankful, because there's nothing worse than regret. Regret sucks balls, man. It's horrible. It's a terrible energy, where that missed opportunity, that wish you could go back and change things. So today, if you're able to take a shit and it was great and it was easy and it was exactly what you needed, celebrate the shit. Celebrate the small little things. I'm the type of person that can go to the bathroom. I'm the type of person that makes it to the bathroom on time. I'm the type of person that has a good digestive system. You could do anything that you wanted. You could just be thankful for the fact that you're able to go to the bathroom, because there could come a time where, like my hubby did when he had so much medication due to a trip to the hospital, that he was unable to go to the bathroom. And that's a simple thing that you can do every day. There are some people that battle with that and do anything to be able to have one of your quote unquote shitty days. So, and you know what? I'm really thankful for the ability to talk to you. I'm really thankful that you stay and listen to my stories. And I'm very thankful that I get to do this for my life and to fulfill my life, because it feels good to do so. So, we have come to the end of our episode, my darlings. I want to thank you again for the time together. You can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, or just send me an email at justjaxpodcast@gmail.com. Well, all of my kick-ass cursive writing curriculum, my shift, fourth, worth, and loser merchandise is all on my website, Crack the Cursive Code. But today I want to be thankful for everything that I have, and I hope that you can be thankful and grateful, and I am just grateful for you. Love you. Jax out.